It's weird sometimes. I'm over here at Cassone's RV and I got my friend here, Richard, and he's gonna take me over to Scottsdale, Arizona because my other friend, Doug Sewell, over in Kentucky, just bought a unit. Well, he just, he sold a unit and the person buying it is trading in a unit, and he's asked me to go pick up this Jayco Greyhawk and take it over to my shop just to store it from him. So the trade-in is a motorized unit, and I'm only one man. So Richie's a good friend of mine, and he's gonna drive with me over in my car. We'll go pick it up, I'll drive the motorhome, and I'll have a way to get back home. I won't have to drop off a car. Works out really well. We're gonna go over to Scottsdale, pick up this unit, and Doug's said we can go ahead and take a look at it too. So let's get over to Scottsdale. Almost there. I really appreciate you driving with me. We're in beautiful Scottsdale, and should be there, it says, in about 4 minutes. Okay, well there it is. I don't know what year it is. Doug just said it was a Jayco Greyhawk, and for whatever reason I thought it was going to be a towable, but man, this thing looks brand new. Dang, that looks sharp. Really nice. Well, Doug left me some instructions from the owner, so I'm going to go look for the keys, and then I'll get loaded in and we'll drive it over to the shop. Gave me the code. Woo, it worked! And he said the keys would be on the step, and there they are. This is wonderful. Let's do a quick little look around, make sure everything's secured enough. Ladder's probably not going to fall and hit me. TV's not going to hit me. And let me lock that down. There we go. And yeah, I think we're pretty well secured. Shower secured. Okay, let's get this thing back to the shop. All right, Richie.
Yes, sir.
Keys to the best service vehicle out there.
Sounds great.
We'll meet you at the shop.
Okay.
So I made it all the way from Scottsdale to Apache Junction, and we're just going to be pulling in the shop here really fast. And there's one thing that I noticed. From the outside, I thought that this was a 2020 or a 2021, so I thought it was almost brand new. And it definitely looks like somebody's been taking care of it. But when I was driving, I noticed this. This has 21,000 miles on it. So it's about 3 years old. It's fair to say it's been used, but definitely not abused. It's a beautiful coach. It handled very nicely. I'd had no issues driving it on the freeway, merging with the freeway. Most importantly, the dash AC was cold, especially in Arizona summer. So let me just go ahead and get this thing backed into place at the shop. Then I'll load back up in my car, and I'll drive my friend Richard back to his truck. And then we'll come back to the shop one more time, and we'll go ahead and take a look at it. And you know we're gonna take a look at the roof first. But then we'll come back inside and we'll take a look inside. It's a really nice coach. All right, Richie, we made it back. Appreciate all your help.
You betcha, anytime.
Always.
You just let me know.
Okay.
I'll be your driver.
Now I get to drive back to the shop, guys. We'll see you back there. And we'll take a look at Doug's 2019 Jayco Greyhawk. Man, the thing looks good. Okay, and we finally made it back. This 2019 Jayco Greyhawk has 2 slide outs on that side. And let me pull this thing out so we can take a look at it. Now, of course, we'll get up on the roof and take a look at the roof. And this light, I can't explain to you guys. It's very evident that the owner took care of this. They've added lots of upgrades that I can see pretty quickly, including snap pads on the jacks down below. I think they upgraded the lock here. So they have the RV lock with a remote control. Even have the cell phone Wii Boost up there. Like I said, they added that wireless camera, and below that camera is the original one in that brake light. But man, this paint looks so good. They must have stored this indoors, and they definitely waxed it. No sign of checking. I don't even see swirls or micro scratches in it. Wow, that looks really good. But we'll get on the roof. I'm gonna run the slide out rooms out because I like to do that when I do a roof inspection. So the main slide is just a Power Gear or Lippert space saver, and the bedroom slide is a Schwintek slide. So both electric slide outs. They went out really easily, no problems. On the ground, it looked like this is an FRP or fiber reinforced plastic or paneling. It's that stucco-looking fiberglass sheet material, very similar to stuff you'll see in bathrooms and commercial areas. It's very, very close to Phylon in its structure and chemistry, but it's not Phylon. It's a little bit different. But like always, I do like to climb up the ladder. That way I can inspect the ladder and make sure it's not loose or falling off. Take a look right here. First thing I always like to look is at the front and rear cap seams. Looks like they painted the die-core that was on there, and so it's gonna be a good indication if the die-core is cracking or if it's loose. And that paint's really intact, so that's a really good sign. Looks like somebody did touch up sealant on the ladders right here. I don't think it was a right decision because it's not a self-leveling sealant that they used. Oh, did it stick? Okay. I don't even know why they did it. There's nothing wrong underneath it. Yeah, it didn't stick. Yeah, this isn't die-core that they used. Well, you can see the WeBoost cell signal enhancer. So it takes a cell signal from outside and will transmit it, retransmit it, and boost it on the inside, so your cell phone gets better coverage. I mean, if I'm going to be critical about anything, probably wouldn't have mounted it in the back and ran the wire all the way across the front to whatever reason they did that for, but I understand. The ladder's right there, it's already a built-in mount. I don't know, I just would have probably tried to find something else to do. But that's just a little critique. There's nothing wrong with it, I just don't like the appearance of it. But while we're up here and we have the sun coming in at a weird angle, you should be able to see that stucco appearance. This is the fiberglass reinforced plastic or FRP roof. Like I said, it's very, very similar to Phylon, which is a sheet fiberglass. So it's all one piece. It is seamless except for at the front and rear caps. And it does wrap around to the side on the radiuses. Where over here we do want to inspect. There's just the paint cracking a little bit, but it's not a sealant issue. They just painted the sealant itself. And I haven't even seen the normal twisting or buckling on the radiuses that it's pretty common on these. So this roof looks really good, guys. Somebody's been taking care of this. I mean, I can walk the rear cap, but I'm not seeing anything wrong with it. These are just molded plastic, and they do have a tendency to move a little bit in heat, but I'm not really seeing anything right here to be that concerned about. Not seeing anything wrong with this transition. Slide out fabric looks good. Might as well grab this, make sure it's not loose. Okay, we have a pre-wire right here for a solar system. So this is from Go Solar, so it means it's already pre-wired from this point down to the control right here. And recently I did just add solar to a Jayco Super C and had the exact same connection at the exact same point, and it worked just fine. But it's nice because you can just unplug these connectors right there, because these aren't connectors, these are just plugs. And the kit that the Go Power comes with, you just plug them in, already ready to go. It's nice. On the rear AC, check and make sure that one's not loose, which it is not. Let's see, we have a vent cover right here and it is bolted down. So it's gonna be difficult for me to take that off to inspect underneath, but they did do a good installation. So there is a gap underneath right here so water can get out. So that looks like a good installation. Again, I'm not really sure why somebody resealed this. This should be self-leveling. If you don't use self-leveling, it's just gonna create voids and pockets, so water can get past any of this anyways. That's why you want to use self-leveling on a roof. Now, what likely happened right here is they added this whirly bird to the sewer vent. This helps get rid of the stink out of the holding tanks a little bit. So I had to go find the wind and then create a siphon that way. So when these kits come, they come with a round flange. It doesn't do a great job sealing, so it looks like they sealed on top of that. I don't suspect there's anything wrong here. It's just unpleasant looking. Let's see, over here is a skylight. This skylight looks really good. I can obviously tell that there's nothing loose on it, and it's not cracked. Come over this side here, we're still looking really good. I mean, this paint, this thing is a 2019, this is 2022. The clear is not peeling, and the radiuses and the roof is usually where it's very prone to peel, because when they're spraying it, they kind of go light on the clear up here because of the angle. So this must have been stored indoors. Now we have a Carefree of Colorado Eclipse awning here. I've made a few videos about these end caps getting loose from the tube itself, but that looks pretty good. And I don't know if you can see how shiny this part of the fabric is. Instead of having a metal wrap, manufacturers came up with a super heavy duty, almost a tough topper material to act as the first metal wrap, and then it'll go to the normal vinyl material. I was very skeptical when they first started doing this. I figured that it would fail and come unattached, but the second question is, why don't they just make the entire awning out of this material, since it's so much better? Looking really good there. We have a refrigerator vent, so I assume this is an RV refrigerator in here. I don't see it cracking. There is some discoloration where the black plastic is oxidizing, but it's still black under there. Look at this AC. So it does have two ACs, so I'll assume this is 50 amp service. Very nice. It's not loose. I'm not seeing any damage to the roof, and this roof is incredibly clean. It's still shiny. I don't know if you guys can see how shiny it is. So there's no oxidation on it. Somebody had to have kept this indoors for sure. Come over to this side. Looks really good. Fabric looks good. I'll grab the awning. Yeah, we're looking pretty good there too. There's a second skylight up here. So that's kind of rare to see two skylights. And yeah, not seeing anything loose. The sealant looks good. I don't know why somebody put a little dab of sealant right here, but I'm going to assume that it didn't seal very well, which it didn't. So this is Dicor. You'd want to use Dicor on Dicor. Silicone won't stick to Dicor, and Dicor won't stick to silicone. There was no problem there. It was just a void that they didn't want water to puddle right there, but that's fine. Most manufacturers just put a dab on the screw, so you have a big open void all the way around. I just recently replaced the skylight on my Beaver motorhome, and maybe I put some voids in the flange there too. Some people called me out on. But it's still weatherproof and fine. The voids aren't anything to worry about. But you do want to make sure you're using the right sealant, otherwise this doesn't really do much. Yeah, so you can see this feels very rubbery, like a silicone. It stuck to the plastic just fine, which I would expect it to, but did not stick to the Dicor right there, which again I would expect it not to. Pops right off there. So it's important to know what kind of sealant you have on the roof, that way you can seal it up properly. Come up here. Now I'm not saying Thor and Jayco are kind of notorious for this where this fiberglass front cap meets the roof itself to be a little bit loose. That's why I do like to walk on it. If it is loose, it will push the molding down, but the screw right there will stay where it's supposed to, or it will stay, and it will poke up through the sealant, and so that's a good way to find loose molding. But the only real critique I have on this is that somebody used the wrong sealant to do some touch-ups, but I would doubt that they even needed these touch-ups. Yeah, I mean, you can still see where it came out of the caulking gun. That's not a flow, that's not a sealant that flows very well. But this is going to be a one-piece gel coat fiberglass front cap. You don't want to walk on this. It's really not strong enough to support it. It has a front window and a gasket set, so it's going to be glass. That's pretty nice. I don't see anything wrong with it. We have the little bullet lights here. I'm not seeing anything wrong with the fiberglass. No cracking. It's not loose. This thing looks really good. There was the roof of this 2019 Jayco Greyhawk Class C motorhome. And this is a one-piece FRP fiberglass roof. It is a sheet material. It's not a gel coat fiberglass, but it is technically fiberglass. You would treat it just like Phylon. The factory used Dicor self-leveling sealant on this, and that's what I would recommend. Either Dicor self-leveling or a similar product. Man, this thing's 3 years old, and if you told me this just came off the production line, I would believe you. This is in impeccable condition. The previous owner definitely took care of this, took a lot of pride of ownership, and that's always what I love to see. But let me go ahead and get down off this roof, and we'll take a look inside, because I haven't looked inside really other than to run out the slides. You'll have to indulge me before we go inside. I think it's worth looking around this thing one more time. It's so clean. Just unbelievably clean. I am completely dumbfounded that it has 21,000 miles on it. The seals are in good shape. So far, the only thing I've actually seen wrong with it is right here on the sewer hookup. The gray handle, it lost half of its handle. A deficiency like that's definitely got to be worth about a $5,000 discount. But yeah, I know some Jayco, I know there are some people out there that give Jayco a little bit of hate because when they were purchased by Thor, they think they lost their quality. I can't speak to any of that, but I can say that this looks exceptionally good. Better than I would have expected. Overall, it looks like a pretty standard RV. It has an RV refrigerator, RV water heater. It looks about a 10-gallon Atwood water heater. Outside TV, kind of your standard outside speakers. And compartment doors are pretty standard in the industry. But it's definitely been well maintained. Looks like they have the house batteries right underneath the step right there, which I do like. A lot of manufacturers are making it difficult to get the house batteries now. Has a hydraulic 4-point leveling, which we saw down below. Oh, I was about ready to close the door, but this also has a feature I do like still. A shade on the entry door window. It's that little feature that really does a lot of good. It's so much better than those tiny little worthless roller shades inside. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look up here. So the bunk area has a good cutaway, so it is easy to get in and out of the cabin area. I know that for a fact because I drove it. It's not too much to see. This is a pretty standard Econoline dash, nothing very upgraded at all. The radio is a nice radio though. It's a Kenwood deck. This is the factory camera on this 2019 Greyhawk. It's more of a hitch view. They added a wireless Furion camera for a higher view. They have 2 backup cameras. That's pretty impressive. And we already did see the Furion wireless camera, and I do like those cameras. The seats themselves are in really good condition. When I was driving it, I did notice that this armrest was a little bit mushy, but it makes more sense because there's 21,000 miles on it, so it did get used. That's very understandable. We have the bunk ladder, owner's packet, privacy curtain. Ooh, look at that. Turn the light on up for up there. There should be a power curtain over here. Let me find the switch for it. Go. Now, I know that I'm not a big fan of power shades, but this is a good application for where your power shades should be. It does have the fold-away television located right there. It's become pretty standard on these Class Cs to put the TV on the bunk itself, and then it just rotates out. But it is about compromises sometimes in tiny homes and in tiny spaces. So if we look at the floor, there's just a rolled vinyl floor. Kind of looks a little bit like bamboo, like gray bamboo. And the main slide out, there's going to be the sofa. Now this sofa does not turn into a bed, but it is a, I guess, reclining sofa. So both sides are reclining. Let's see about the shades. Yes, they are roller shades, and there's only the night shade. I do like this fabric. This is a nicer looking fabric than you would normally see. Yeah, frameless windows. We saw those on the outside. And then all the lights are LED. The cabinet doors look like they're solid wood. The cabinet faces are definitely sticker wrapped engineered lumber. That means, let's see, feels like solid wood on the trim though. So I think the trim itself is solid wood. So that's at least an upgrade. That's nice. So we look over here, the dinette booth does turn into a bed, and this has the newer style on it. Now, unlike the ones with that little flip handle underneath, this one is a lot more sturdy, doesn't move around even in the up position when it's locked. So I do like these better. Just have to get the cushions out of the way. And it's kind of going back old school. You lift up on the table. You're gonna pull it away from the wall. It has a gas strut right there to help you out. And then you just go ahead and push it down into place. So it almost goes back old school to where it used to be. You just flip the table leg up out of the way, but they've gotten rid of the table leg, which was the weak point of that style. It's a really nice, easy to operate dinette table. And then of course you just put the cushions in place and make a bed. So an adult probably could sleep crooked on it, but a child or a young adult could probably sleep okay on it. But definitely you have a queen size bed on the bunk area. All right, then we'll put it back away, and because it has that gas strut, look at that. I did that all one-handed. Look over to the side, it has an analog controlled thermostat, which I do like, and looks like the power control system. Yeah, so it has a built-in load shed on it. That's nice. The decor on the wall, it's nice, it's neutral, it's uninspired, and it'll age really well, I think. Nothing too crazy. Above the recliner right here is that one skylight we saw on the roof, and it has a privacy shade for it, which is a nice feature to have on any skylight. But across from the main slide out will be the galley, and there's a pretty standard floor plan on a Class C, and it works really well to have the one long uninterrupted galley countertop. They did give you a pull-out countertop extension. This is made out of the same countertop material. It is a solid surface Corian. Oh wow, it's got soft close to it. I don't know why I like that. Other drawers. No, drawers don't have soft close to it. But at least the drawers are made out of real cabinet grade plywood and not press wood. I like one big sink instead of two small sinks, but it's a really nice sink. It's under countertop mounted, and even this faucet. That's a nice decor faucet. Oh, that's cool. What? Why is it the little things that always impress me? I didn't think that would pull out. We followed over here. That is real glass backsplash. It's not a sticker. And then I have the two-piece stovetop cover to this 3-burner propane stovetop. And this is the new Dometic style, but it's just the facelift. The whole thing works the same way. One thing to note on these Corian countertop stovetop covers and sink covers, if you do drop them on the ground, they generally will shatter like glass, so don't drop those on the ground. I have a microwave above. It's not a convection oven microwave, which makes sense because you do have a propane oven down below. There's that Norcold RV refrigerator. So it is propane and electric, gas absorption, and a decent sized pantry. Let's see if we get some more lights on in here. Has a central shower. This is a plastic surround. It's a shower stall type. That's a pretty big step up. All right, that's getting pretty close to a foot of a step up. But we might as well try it out. So yeah, I can step up into it. I'm 6 foot, so let's see if I... Yeah, it would definitely hit my head. So you have to make sure you're ducking under that. Okay. This is a glass tempered shower door, so it is decent. So they do need to have a support on it. I would say there's a decent amount of space in here. And even the shower head is positioned at what would be a good position for me. Again, I'm 6 foot, so with the skylight, we probably have another 8 inches from the top of my head. But at the very most I'd feel comfortable with is, I don't know, about 4 more inches. So if you're taller than 6'4", you might be a little bit more uncomfortable with your head in a hot box up there. As we step out of the shower, we'll have the bathroom door to the toilet. Now this one has a latch up on top, so it does that old school partition wall. So now this becomes the bathroom, and you have another bifold privacy door to cordon off the entire bathroom area. That's a pretty standard feature for the last 30 years in Class C, so if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? In the same way that you can there's a closet rod you can add to the shower to have additional closet storage. Of course, that's removable. As we get into the head, the toilet room, the water closet, whatever you want to call it, it's a pretty good sized room. This is not Corian solid surface countertop. It is laminate right here, under countertop mounted stainless steel sink. The faucet might be a little loose, but I'm not doing an inspection, guys. Medicine cabinet above looks pretty good. Got a nice viewing angle for outside when you're standing right here, I guess. And a pretty standard toilet. Is porcelain, but it is just a gravity toilet. So that's nice. As we exit that, we'll come back to the bedroom where the second slide out is. Has its own thermostat for the bedroom, so that's nice. That means you can cool the front and heat the rear if you needed to. I really do like analog thermostats. Previous owner put the remote on a Velcro so they don't lose it. I'd still probably lose it. Reading light, so that reading light is not LED. You got the windows on either side of the bed. It's just a vinyl headboard. It is soft. Let's see, is there storage under the bed? Yeah, it's pretty cool. You can get access to the under the bed and from the outside. So that's an outside door to that storage area. But this is just a queen size bed. It does have a rear window with emergency exit on it. Now, I don't know why I think it's fun or cool, but I like the found space behind TVs. Nice set of drawers in there. You have the closet. Now this one doesn't wrap around behind like it's pretty common in RVs now, which I don't mind too much because it can be quite dark back behind there. Well, there it was. That was a fun little adventure to do today. We picked up this 2019 Jayco Greyhawk Class C motorhome for my friend Doug Sewell over at Sewell Motor Coach in Kentucky. Really nice guy. I'm happy to do a favor for him because he's helped me out. So this was a fun little experience. I'm glad I was able to share it with you guys. I think he found an exceptionally nice Class C motorhome as a trade-in. A lot of times previous owners will say that their coach is immaculate and wonderfully maintained. If they said this one was immaculate, they did not lie. In fact, I'd say they undersold it. Besides that bathroom sink and that gray tank handle, I didn't really find anything wrong, just on a quick cursory look. And 21,000 miles, it's definitely been used. Definitely been used, but it's definitely been cared for and loved. So that's a good thing to say. But thanks a lot for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed that. And I was glad to share it with you guys. That was a fun experience. I'm gonna get this thing put back into place, lock it up, and then I'll wait to hear from Doug when he comes to pick it up. Thanks a lot. Now, Doug didn't ask me to do a video for him. This is just something I wanted to share with you guys. If you are interested in it, I think he has a website. It's, I think, SewellMotorCoach.com. I'll put a link to it in the description on the video if you want to take a look at it. I don't know how much it costs or what he's asking for it, but it's nice. Yeah. But I know how much room in this 2019 Jayco Greyhawk when the slide out rooms are closed. Let's go ahead and close the slide outs. Now the good news is this is a pretty standard floor plan for the past 30 years, and it's standard because it works. So here I am just standing up in the cabin area, step up into the living room. There's a good aisleway the entire length. I can get access to the countertops, the stove top, the oven, the microwave, the refrigerator. Sit on the sofa, sit on the dinette. There's seat belts on the dinette. And there's room, all sorts of room. You don't even need the slide outs open to actually use this room. Come back here past the galley, you can get to the shower effortlessly. And just as easy to get to the toilet, use everything in here too. And naturally that means you can get to the bed. Now you will have to crawl over the bed to get, I don't know, what's ever on that side, but this is really nice. So this is a nice floor plan. That means if these slide outs broke and were stuck in, you can still use this RV just fine. Might be a little bit tighter, but there's no problem using it with the slide out rooms in. So that's nice. I also forgot to thank my good friend Richard for helping me and giving me a ride. Thank you, Richard. I appreciate it. A one-piece fiberglass gel coat molded, a one-piece gel coat fiberglass. This is a one-piece. Ow. So this. And I guess with it open, it's still private enough. I'm gonna go pick up a RV over in Scottsdale
For what?
for a friend, for Doug in Kentucky, and Richie's gonna help me out. Thomas was gonna help me, but he's getting his car worked on, and I don't want to stress out.
I'm gonna come back, put those moldings on in a minute. But I'll be back. But I left the keys in the truck if you need to move it. Okay, cool. But I'm gonna help him go get this unit and take it to a shop. Come back. Okay.
But you're still alive?
Huh?
You're still alive?
Me?
Yeah.
Still alive and jumping. As far as I know.
Well, worried about their blood work.
Cholesterol.
Okay.
High cholesterol.